Hello, everybody. Welcome to Newcastle Fans TV on another live video. So tonight we are going to be looking at statistics. What I mean by that, we're going to take a look at the season so far on which players have been performing well, and also we've also got some team stats to look at as well. Some of these might surprise you. If you can smash that like, that'll be absolutely wonderful. We are live on YouTube and we are also live on Twitch. So welcome everybody who was watching the rerun. Easy for me to say. Stuart, fantastic, great. Has become a YouTube member. Stuart, you're actually getting a video off me tonight about some changes to the channels as well. So thank you very much, Stuart, for being a member. Matty's saying, my guess is Big Joe might feature. Well, we'll have to see as well. And Connor, evening late, I hope you're well, mate. I am very well. I am indeed seeing my Ferrari boys come first and second tonight, well, earlier on today. And there's a video on NFTV Extra tonight at 9 p.m. where Brandon and Matt are talking about the F1, so the F1, definitely tune in for that. Right. But we're going to begin with some of the stats. And Steve Bruce will feature fairly lightly that will feature Steve Bruce in this, and we'll also have a look at Eddie Howe's stats as well. We'll look at, as I say, teams and what have you. But welcome everybody. We've just got a comment coming in. Fishing Rod says evening to you, pal. I hope you're doing well. Tom as well, evening to you. I hope you are good as well. Right, we're going to begin, and we're going to begin with Steve Bruce. I thought I'd never say this on this channel. So we'll take a look at Steve Bruce stats. Now this is in total. Now, it does include the League Cup game against Burnley where we drew 0-0. So it does include that. That's why you probably work it out. 9 times 3 equals 27 at the bottom there. It only says 24. That's because you don't play for points in the League Cup. So Steve Bruce at the start of the season played 9 games, didn't win any, drawn 4. That Burnley League Cup game goes down as a draw. Lost 5. We scored 10 goals against 19. Not great, is it? A possible 3 points from 24. Not the greatest reading in the world, is it? We'll switch camera again now. So it's not the greatest reading for Steve Bruce. We all know that because remember when Steve Bruce, there was a lot of pressure when Amanda Staveley come in and the PIF took over. Would he be sacked? Would he be sacked? And then the Spurs game come round. We wanted him gone. It was a carnival atmosphere outside and inside the ground, but we didn't see it. And obviously then he was sacked, and then Graham Jones got the tune for what was it? It was about 3 games, wasn't it? And obviously we're seeing Eddie Howe pictured at Brighton when I was down there with our fellow Dutchman Brandon down there as well. But we'll have a look at Eddie Howe's stats because they are much more better reading on there. If you take a look at this, this is including the FA Cup game, so you can easily work out 19 times 3 is 57. But obviously, because the FA Cup game, you don't play for points, so it's a possible out of 54. And Eddie Howe has won 26 out of a possible 54, which, of course, we all know this. We're not learning anything here. Is a lot better than Steve Bruce. Of course, we know that. Played 19 games in total, 18 in the Premier League, won the FA Cup, won 5, won 7, lost 7. Points per game is a 1.37. Over the course of the season, that'll get you around about 11th position in the league. But if you remember when Eddie Howe first come in, we weren't actually winning games when Eddie Howe first come in. And then, we started to change it around at the start of the new year. And obviously, we've seen a few buys come in, the likes of Dan Burn, Matt Target, Bruno Gomes, Chris Wood, and Kieran Trippier. So they've all had some sort of impact, big or small. It has helped Newcastle. Win percentage is up 36.84 to Steve Bruce's massive 0%. And as I say, a possible points 26 out of 54 as well. So much more better under Steve Bruce. 100% it is. But so those are the 2 comparisons with the 2 managers. We'll have a look what you're saying in the comments as well. Wolfson in comments, hello pal, I hope you're doing well. Hello Shane, I hope you're doing well as well. And Fish and Rods is saying 2 weeks without any football for Newcastle. Don't know how to cope. I'm not gonna lie, I was pretty exhausted after the 3 away games of Hampton, down to London, going to Liverpool, and having to work on NFTV and work with my job that I do with the broadcast company as well. So it's a bit tiring, put it that way. So I'm pleased for the gap, but I know what you mean, Fish and Rods. I know what you mean. It's a long time without a game of football. But we're going to move on. If I said to you lot, who's the best goalkeeper at the club for conceding goals? Most would probably say Dubravka, then maybe Darlow close. But have a look at this stat. So this is Martin Dubravka, Carl Darlow, and Freddie Woodman. So as we all know, Freddie Woodman started the season. We had a bit of a disaster, didn't we, with goalkeepers. Darlow then came in, and then Martin Dubravka. And these are the goals conceded per 90 on average. So Freddie Woodman at the start of the season was getting goals peppered left, right, and centre against him. I didn't think he helped himself greatly. I'm not going to lie. What comes to mind is the Southampton game, Old Trafford game. Those two Ronaldo goals, I think you should be saving them. Carl Darlow then come in, conceding 1.88. And of course, then Dubravka stepped in and we're only conceding 1.24. Of course, the recent stats where we only conceding 1 on average per game at the moment and keeping a few clean sheets of late is definitely helping Martin Dubravka. But I don't think many of us are going to be too surprised by that, to be honest with you. Ooh, so making me throw up, bloody hell. I need to get some water doing this, bloody hell. There we go. So I don't think we're learning too much from them stats with the goalkeepers. But if I said to you it's about defenders, if I said to you, statistically, doesn't matter how many games they've played, who is the best defender when he plays that Newcastle concede the least amount of goals? You're thinking, maybe Kieran Trippier because he only played a few games. You'd be wrong. Now, you're probably thinking, who do we concede the most? Who plays? And I got the spot on when I looked at this before I did the research. I thought it's got to be Lascelles and Kieran Clark has to be right up there. Well, let's take a look at the defence. So, statistically, Paul Dummett is actually the best, but he's only played 3 games. So let's not get carried away. Newcastle only concede 0.45 goals when he plays. But we can't really read too much into it. It's the same as Kieran Trippier as well. He's only played 4 games, and Newcastle concede just over half a goal every game, or a goal every 2 games, however, which way you want to look at this stat. But then Dan Burn, again, hard to play. Dan Burn, what he played 7 games? No, he's played, I think he's up to the. No, Dan Burn, I'm sure he's played 10. I've got a stat somewhere of Dan Burn playing in these. The first real long-term player who's had a lot of game time is Fabian Schär. He's played 19 games this season. Newcastle are a better side when we don't concede with Fabian Schär in there. He averages a 1.22, so he's the first one on the list who's played a lot of games. Matt Targett, again, another one who's come in recently. It's not surprising anybody, I don't feel. All the new lads that have recently come in, Newcastle's defence has got better. Interesting, Emil Kraft. Emil Kraft right up there, 1.30. So we concede 1.3 every time Emil Kraft, which is better than Javier Manquillo. And then you look at Lascelles, that doesn't surprise me. I think his form has been really, really poor. Federico Fernandez, who hasn't been seen for a while because he's got injuries. I think his stats are probably not making him look good because he started the season. And then Kieran Clark, who's pictured, has been an absolute disaster. You've seen it with his goals, mistakes, athletic goals. Sorry, and it's a big margin, that 2.31 every time Kieran Clark plays. I mean, do you read much too into that? That's what I want to know. Do you read too much into these stats or not? Let's have a look what you're saying in the comments. I'm wondering what you're saying as well. Another away game of Spurs, yeah. And your content keeps us going, mate. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Smash the like on that. That'll be great. Sam's in the comments. Burn, baby, burn. With Dan Burn, I put a tweet out the other day, and Andrew Musgrave from the Chronicle quoted us, and I thought Dan Burn was a fault for the last two games for the Chelsea one, because I think he's all over the place with Kai Havertz, and I think he just steps out in the last game. I didn't think he needs to. Don't get me wrong, Dubravka should be doing better with a woebie shot, but Dan Burn has been fantastic, except from those late concentration errors. I feel like he's largely a fault for 2 of the goals as well. But I'm not picking on the lad because he has been absolutely fantastic for us. Midfield's going to, and actually I want to go back to that defender stats because these stats are from Footy.org. And if I just go back, Jamal Lewis isn't even listed in there. I know he hasn't played much, but you can see at the top, I put the graphic there. Jamal Lewis is hardly listed in that. So we'll take a look at midfield next, and we're going to get assists for per game. Take a look at this. So, of course, Bruno Guimaraes is bottom, but he's barely played. You know what I mean? He's just signed. Interestingly, Joe Willock has not picked up an assist this season, which quite surprised me, actually, considering he's played a lot of football of late. Jeff Hendrick, obviously, out on loan at QPR. That's no surprise. He's only played three games. He's actually scores 1 and 3 in Jeff Hendrick. Madness. They put Jamal Lewis as a midfielder in this, which we'll all know he's not. Miguel Miron, again, hasn't scored, hasn't got any assists at all this season. I think he's out the door in the summer. Isaac Hayden, you don't expect him to grab loads of assists playing defensive midfield, but we know he's been injured quite a lot. John Joe Shelby, I thought should be a lot higher than that. Assists per 90, 0.06. That really surprises me. Murphy, 0.07. Sean Longstaff. And then you've got ESM's actually the top assist goal scorer, but this is based on per 90, not per game. So this is per 90. Matt Ritchie, 0.14. But interestingly, Ryan Fraser grabs an assist every 5 games if he plays the full 90. So Ryan Fraser per 90 is the top of this list. There's no Joe Linton in this list, which again, Foot Yoga put him as a striker, which annoyed us. But hey ho, that's what they put him as. So what can you do? What can you do? I don't make these graphics, you know what I mean? But we'll jump to your comments again once again. Let's have a look at what he's saying in there. Evening all. Hello, Ollie, one of our members. Thank you very much. And finally, Alan Shearer statue moved, and Yasser Bobby Robson statue. That's going to be happening soon. It is, isn't it? And then if we take a look at the striker stats, let's have a look at this. Again, let us know any of these surprising you, but Callum Wilson scores a goal almost 1 in every 2. That doesn't surprise me. 0.45. Chris Woods, really struggling, isn't he? I know he's got 1 in 10 for us, but overall, this stat includes his Burnley stats as well. 0.16. Joe Linton, have got him class as a striker. He's not. We all know that he's been playing midfield for almost virtually all the season since Eddie Howe come in. And Dwight Gale, who just barely gets a kick, he gets put on for 4 minutes and Newcastle are getting beat, which hasn't been much of late. But they don't really actually surprise me, to be honest with you. Not really. Again, we'll just quickly pause and we'll have a look at what he's saying in the comments as well. Lots of idiots going mad about the last 2 away results. Remember, we lost 1 in the 89th minute and the other in the 98th minute. Reckon we'll finish at least 40 points and ready to go in the summer. There is a little bit, I've seen a little bit with ASM as well, a little bit over the top of saint-maximin. I was there, Goodison, he wasn't great, but you're picking on a player who you expect to perform miracles every single game. Look, he's at Newcastle for a reason. I don't mean that in a horrible way with ASM, but he's at Newcastle for a reason. He's not playing for the big boys yet because I've said this numerous of times. He's got to be getting 10 goals and 10 assists for me if you want that big move away. That assist stat highlights our problems, no creativity from midfield. Yeah, I would agree, Fishing Rods. I think that's partly why Bruno's in now, and I think you'll see Newcastle stats go up as well. And Steve's obviously highlighting there. Remember, Richie isn't playing as a midfielder either because a lot of his stats, Steve's right, he was playing as a wing back or left back under Steve Bruce and left back when Eddie Howe first coming as well. But those are some of the individual stats. And interesting now, we're going to move on to most games and bookings this season. So dead quickly, fingers on your mobiles and whatever you're on your desktop. Who's been booked the most this season for Newcastle? Go. So get writing. And whilst you are writing that, if you are just joining us live, smash that like button. That would be wonderful. We've seen a member join us at the start of the video. If you click join underneath, you can see our membership programs, $1.99 exclusive videos, which I'll be doing one later on night. There's all your socials for you. You've got it on Facebook, you've got Twitter, you've got Instagram. If you want to have a look at what guests we've got, what we more get up to, articles. Jack's been writing some fantastic stuff on our website, newcastlefanstv.com. Right, what is it saying then? Shelby, says Steve, interesting. Joe Linton, says Fish and Rods. Krath, says Ollie. Shelby, question mark. Joe Linton, says Tom. Or maybe Shaw. Oh, he's getting second thoughts, aren't you? You're getting second thoughts there, Steve, aren't you? Joe Linton, Clark, Shelby, gotta be. So we'll have a look. Right. So as I say, these are where have I just put them? Most games and bookings. Well done. Yeah, John Joe Shelby, followed by Joe Linton. Well done for you who've got that right. What do you win? Nothing. You win my company tonight. That's it. So Joe Linton's got 6. Shelby's top of 7. These include Dan Burns' stats at his former club as well. So he's picked up 6. Lascelles 5, Isaac Hayden 5, Richie 5, Manquillo 5, Jacob Murphy 4. So yeah, and I think the Shelby one slightly surprised me because I thought he's picked up cleaned up his act the last couple of years where he wasn't getting any daft red cards, but obviously now he got 2 yellows, didn't he? Early on this season, which accumulated to a sending off. Most appearances, that includes Chris Wood's appearances at Burnley in these stats. So really, it's Joe Linton and Alan saint-maximin, who have played the most this season. We've got no one ever present, nowhere near, because we've only got 9 games left this season. So, and then Ryan Fraser has surprisingly played 24. That surprised me. Does that surprise you a lot? Ryan Fraser's played 24 games. He's literally, what? Because Chris Wood hasn't been here all season. He's joint third, really. Jacob Murphy, 24. Matty Target, again, that includes his Villa stats. Joe Willock and Miggy Almiron. So, yeah, Fraser's featured a lot more, but we all know at the start of the season, Ryan Fraser was used as a centre midfielder. We all know that, and he was used a lot of the time off the bench for literally a few minutes, like the last 10 minutes and what have you. But crackers, man. Surprise, Krath's not there. Feels like he gets booked every game. Why can't he keep up with the winger? Yeah. Also has a red card, Shelby. Yeah, I've mentioned that before. Joe Litton is better midfield. Yeah. Joe Litton's not a striker. Don't even play him there, but again, don't even play. Very good evening. I knew it. Shelby's a liability. You say that, Dan. I would agree this season, but I think, was it last season or the last season before, where you only picked up like 1 booking all season, which was quite incredible, wasn't he? Quite incredible, that. Fraser, Murphy surprised me. Fraser definitely for me. Murphy's played a lot. Wood, 27 games, 4 goals. Enough said. Yes, hey, Shanna. Hopefully I pronounced that right. But yeah, we all know Chris Wood's, he's getting a lot of stick, isn't he? Because at the end of the day, strikers are judged by goals, and he's got 1 in 10 at Newcastle, which doesn't look great, but he's in a team that predominantly, before the last 1-0 results, we're performing well. We're performing well. But next one, you'll all know who's got the most goals, so we know that. Most assists, I would imagine you're all going to get this one as well. But let's take a look at that. So we all know Callum Wilson's my top scorer with just 6, and he's missed a huge chunk of the season so far. Again, the Chris Wood stats include the Burnley, when he's been at Burnley as well. Mad to think Kieran Trippier technically is our joint 3rd top scorer this season, which is alarming, isn't it? With 2 goals. He's there with Joe Willock, who's picked up a couple of goals this year. Ryan Fraser, again, similar to Joe Willock, starting to pick up some goals. Joe Litton and Shelby on 2. It just simply isn't good enough, isn't it? I know this is including Steve Bruce, including Eddie Howe, but these stats, we expect these to be a lot higher next season. We expect a couple to be in double figures, and hopefully midfield are hitting 6 and 7s, hopefully. But again, if you look at the assist column, it's not great, is it? 3s, and Ryan Fraser's picked up form recently as well. That's why he's moved up. Mankio on 2. That's a little bit surprising. Fabian Scher's got 2 assists for a centre-back. Matt Ritchie 2, Krath 1, Joe Litton 1, Sean Longstaff 1. Not great, is it? Let's be honest. But hey, things are a lot better. Things are a lot better, put it that way, because we could be sitting in the relegation zone before Eddie Howe came along. So it is much better. What is I saying? I feel sorry for Wood. The role of a lone striker has changed. Look at Firmino, for example. Yeah. Guys, Maxi Hart gone out of the football for us. Do you think he wants to move on? No, I don't think so. I think Maxi wants to stay. I just think he's been picked out because people want to jump on Twitter and criticise the play. I mean, I criticised Dan Burn, so I've got no right to talk, but it was done in a constructive way. That I feel I did my way. At least 10 go in the summer. Dummett, Kraft, Fernandez, Lascelles, Clark, Miggy, Hayden, Ritchie, Gale, Wood. Says Robert. Yeah, there's a lot that's going to go. ESM has been on 3 assists for months. Yeah, Ollie, you're spot on. You're absolutely spot on. Keep looking at the camera, waiting for that to come on. Hey, switch it. Hey. But yeah, we'll move on from there. Home versus away. Interesting, this one. You always expect your home form to be so much better than your away form, didn't you? Every time you look at this. But yeah, let's jump into it. Oh, lovely. I picked the wrong one. Switch it around, Lee. Come on, focus. So this is your home versus away record for Newcastle this season. And we've played 14 at home. We've got a win percentage of 29%. We've scored 20 goals, conceded 25, and averaging total goals, this is both teams, we're averaging 3.21 goals at St. James's Park. So for the neutral, for the TV cameras, it's best to put Newcastle on a home game because you get more goals. Looking at our away form, we played 15, a lot of them, 3 in the last week. Just 20% win ratio, scored 12 goals, conceded 24. Averaging for both teams is 2.4 goals per game. But of course, these stats are not helping Eddie Howe out because these stats here that we're getting here are from the Premier League only, not including the cups. Whereas Steve Bruce for the first 8 games didn't win any, so it's not really helped. It doesn't make Eddie Howe look great there. However, we've got to take that factor that this is all over all of the season. These stats, but again, Eddie Howe's stats will be better. And we'll probably do another stat video towards the end of the season, just on Eddie Howe, how he's changed Newcastle against Steve Bruce as well. But I know it's a small comparison because Bruce has, 8 games in the Premier League, 1 in the Cup, versus Eddie Howe, who's already on 19, including the League and Cup. So, yeah, we'll pause again for a few of your comments as well. Dan says, what are our home games left? How many points from those do you think is a realistic target? I think, looking at the overall fixtures, I think Newcastle just need 4 points to stay up. To be safe, I think we're on 31. I think 35 will do it. I really do. I don't think it'll be more. Would you take Ivan Toney or Tammy Abraham, who's banging them in for Roma? Ivan Toney, I said this when we first started the channels. What was it now? It was 6 years ago that Ivan Toney should never left Newcastle. He was fantastic when I went to see him in the 23s. Should have been loaned out again in another season. Shouldn't have been sold. It's easier said than done. He's a better player for me than Adam Armstrong. For me. Brandon, who's live later on over on NFT Reaction with Matt at 9 p.m, talking all things Formula One. So if you like your Formula One stuff, make sure you tune in. Brandon said, I agree with you, Lee. We shouldn't expect ASM to do wonders every time, but if he doesn't, he shouldn't lose the ball in dangerous spots. Yeah, he does give the ball away. He's actually statistically, I haven't got a graphic on this, Brandon, but he is statistically the second worst player for dispossession stats this season. Wilfred Zaha's first. But again, that doesn't surprise you with the both of them being dribblers. And Shannon's going to say we'll get a 60 million, and I said 20, and I said 20, forgive me. And we'll get a 60 million pound striker this summer. Wood and Wilson will be squad players at best. I don't think Wilson will. I think Wilson's got a lot more about his game, to be honest with you, than what Chris Wood's got. Can we progress to a top 6 team with a luxury player like ASM? I think you could. Most top teams players have players that are just good off the ball when they're on the ball. I know what you mean, Sean. I haven't read that out properly. Sorry. Clarky, hello, guys. I wouldn't take Ivan Toney. I don't like his attitude. Yeah, he's just been pictured in a car again, slagging off. Well, not slagging off. The guy asked him, I'm a professional footballer, and the guy gans, who do you play for? And he just went, you wouldn't know who they are. So, not great by Ivan Toney again, because that's the second time now he's been caught out in it. Not great. Right, we've got more stats, don't worry. We have more. We've got a couple more to rattle through, and then we are going to be finishing up. And if you've got any questions or anything like that, please feel free to fire them across. These are the detailed. Now, apologies if you're on your mobile, you might not be able to see all of these. These are your detailed average match stats. And I wanted to bring this up because if you take a look at where stats here, 24% win ratio, we've drawn 34%. And we've lost 41% of our games. Again, it doesn't look great for Eddie Howe because remember the first 8 games we didn't win any, and it's under Steve Bruce. I'm sticking up for Eddie Howe a bit there. Goals per match 1.38. Goals against higher 1.69. Obviously, earlier the season it was horrendous. We score on average just over a goal a game. Again, that's not great, but I think that'll be better next season with summer buys, of course. And we'll concede nearly 1.7 almost. And the average goals average per game is nearly 2.8. Clean sheets, only 14% of our matches. That's poor, isn't it? It's really, really poor. It's highlight in red. Fail to score on 24%, so basically 1 in 4. Possession averaging 40%. That is actually a lot better than what it used to be under Steve Bruce, because Steve Bruce was in the late 20s. So that's so much better. Eddie Howe getting us to play high press, and we'll have more possession stats, more on the ball. It looks better now. Shots taken is quite high, 13. But conversion rate's not great, 8%. I think we're right down there. I think we're 3rd or 4th bottom for conversion. Fouls committed, we're nearly at 10. Fouls against, we're almost at 10. Penalties won, we've only won 1 penalty all season in 29. Awful, that, isn't it? Just 1 penalty. What does that tell you? We're not getting enough in the box, except from ASM. Possibly. Penalties conceded 6. That's a lot. I think that's a lot of penalties conceded in 29. Bloody hell. You don't have to work it out. That's like what? You're talking like almost 1 in 5 again. So 1 in 4, 1 in 5. It's not great, is it? Goal kicks, I don't know why that's there, 9. Thrown 17, and free kicks nearly 11 per average on that. But yeah, those are your match stats so far this season. We'll have a look what you're saying in the comments once again. That's why I asked Tony. Yeah, I get you. Yeah. Dan's got to say, can we balance out those result average by the end of the season? 33% across the board. I think so. I think we do have some tough games like Spurs, the City, and Liverpool, of course. I don't think we'll get now from Liverpool and Man City personally. And yeah, won't be long. Share the show. Great, says Paul. Shanna's going to say, I hope we get Eddie Eddie Nketiah. We're talking about the French lad, yeah. Nketiah in the summer. I can never pronounce his name. Apologies. Wonder kid. Hopefully will come this time. He will be lethal for us up front with his pace. I hope so. I hope we get him because, we've seen the owner come out and talk about it, didn't we? Saying that he didn't believe in Newcastle's project. Yeah, right. How I think, the only thing I can think that what he's waiting for there is, I think Mbappe will go to Real Madrid because he's a free agent. I think that's going to happen, and that'll free up a forward space. And I think that's the only thing that kid is hoping that Paris come in from. That's the only thing that I can think of. Only thing I can think of, because you'll get such a massive pay increases in the best league in the world, and it is a risk for Newcastle as well, putting down all that money on a relatively unknown first season kid. And I know Steve loves him, absolutely loves him. To be honest, we've had so many pen shouts go against us this season. Chelsea game most recently. Yeah, we should have had one with Jacob Murphy. 100% we were, because that was just absolutely daylight robbery. One big stat to come. Shall we have a look at the last one? Average ratings. Right. Come on then. Guess. Who is the best player averagely this season for Newcastle? Now, this stat is going to be by who scored. Go on, fire in the live chat. Who is the best player averagely over? So you mark them out with 10. They get 7s, they get 8s, they get 6s. Who's the best this season on average for Newcastle this season? I've got a top 10 coming up. But as I say, we are having a Formula 1 show coming up on NFTV Extra. We'll just change the graphic around. Hey, that's for NFTV Extra coming up at 9 p.m. So stay tuned if you are into your F1 on. You might see me celebrating on a clip. You might see me, because I'm very happy because my Ferrari boys. I've mentioned this already. Come first and second. Right. Let's have a look. Ooh, what is I saying? I've got the answers back. Let's have a look. ESM. Big Joe. ESM. Says Ollie. Fraser. Says Tom. Fraser fishing rods. I can't see Everton getting out of it, and Watford have a hard run. I think 1 win and we are safe. Next home games will do it. Brandon saying Joe Linton. Wilson's quite on the pecking order, actually. Surprising. Target. Right, let's have a look. Let's put you out your misery. So this is on average of whoscored.com rate our players this season. Do any of these... Ooh, I've got the hiccups again. Do any of these surprise you? Kieran Trippier, top. That does not surprise me. The 4 games he's played in, Newcastle have performed well, and he scored 2 goals and 2 match winners. That is not a real reflection, I don't feel, because he's only played 4 games. Alan Saint-Maximin. So whoever said ESM, I'll give you that. What do you win? Nothing. But you win, well done. Alan Saint-Maximin over 26 games averages 7.14 from who scored. Interesting. Dan Burns high up there, just over a 7. But again, he hasn't played much. Matt Target's just below him, 7 games. Chris Wood's quite high, isn't he? Considering, he's just been... He gets criticised for only scoring 1 in 10, but he's literally almost a 7. And that's because of the work he does off the ball, which a lot of fans probably don't... Not realise, but don't give him credit for holding the ball up, winning headers. Remember, he wins headers defensively as well, and he holds the ball up. He gets players in position, so possibly that's why he scores high. Joe Linton just short of under 7 as well, 26 games, but the start of the season he wasn't playing regular in midfield, and then when Eddie Howe coming in, we all know. Fabian Schär is, I think his stats are probably a little bit low. I feel 6.71, but that's probably because he's performed so much better in 2 at the back with Eddie Howe. And Joe Willock struggled at the start of the season. Had a great purple patch, didn't he, in February when he was scoring those goals, 6.64. Martin Dubravka, 6.59, 17 games. Callum Wilson down in 10th position, 6.55, 15 games. So, interesting then. Interesting. There's a couple of that surprised me in there. Not loads, I've got to say, to be honest with you. I know you shouldn't read too much into stats and what have you, but it's nice to look at them and think where we at as a club with team stats and players and what have you, and see where we're at. Let's have a look at what you're saying as well. We've got a few more comments coming. Dan Burns is Brandy. He was quite high up though. Who's your favorite F1 driver? I'm Ferrari, man. I'm Ferrari for 27 years. So Charles Leclerc, Carlos Sainz, I don't care who performs either one of them. To be honest, ESM surprises me. The wood being that high is very interesting. Shows that they don't just take goals into account. Yeah, fantastic. Well said, Ollie. Well said. ESM is like a Ferrari. I see what Johnny's doing. Johnny's with his puns again. I thought puns had gone on this channel. Chris Wood is a surprise as well. And Dan Thomas Taylor said, I thought ESM's bad performances would have really pulled him down that average. Players like Wood make sense to me. He does more than just contribute goals. And these players are ace accurate. Does that stand for Kai? Sorry, I forgot that. Average. Yes, on average, these are over the course of 10s, 6s, 5s, whatever, and bang, put them in an average as well. So I hope you like that kind of video, something a little bit different. Obviously, we know it's international break now for Newcastle. We didn't play over this weekend. Not great, is it? But we are thinking of loads of different content ideas, of course. As I say, we've got the F1. Where was Shelby? Shelby wasn't in the top 10, Joe. Smash that like for us as well. That'd be absolutely wonderful. We'll do more and more videos, live ones and non-live ones and what have you, over the international break. Of course, we know it's not great, but we are going to possibly even do a quiz for you. So if you want us to do a quiz and join in live on the quiz, we'll look at that. Maybe team versus team here on NFTV, and we'll see how we get on. But thank you very much for tuning in tonight on this stat video. If you can smash that like, that'd be wonderful. And tune in to NFTV Extra in half an hour. Ta-da, everyone. Have a good night. Bye-bye.